Welcome to another edition of Soul Fire Ascension with Raven and Lisa Love Light. Raven is an aura, past life regression, and clinical hypnotherapist, a quantum galactic Akashic reader, raw Reiki angelic alchemy healing practitioner, and Yushui Reiki master. Raven also offers one-on-one spiritual consultations. Book your free 15-minute discovery Zoom call with Raven at ravenshealingarts.com. Lisa is an aura practitioner, raw Reiki quantum galactic Akashic reader, Yushui Reiki master, and offers one-on-one soul coaching sessions. For questions or booking sessions, you can message her at sacredheartquantumhealing.com or at myabundanceflows247@aol.com. You can watch Soul Fire Ascension on YouTube and Rumble. You can also listen to Soul Fire Ascension on Spotify. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we hope you enjoy the show. Greetings. Welcome to another edition of Soul Fire Ascension. Lisa Love Light is popping in. She's just having a few technical difficulties. And we are with Jessamy. And I know you guys know Miss Jessamy, but we're going to play her little video file anyway. With Jessamy, Soul Fire Ascension welcomes back Jessamy. Jessamy is a former co-host of Soul Fire Ascension. She's a psychic medium, Reiki practitioner, tarot reader, and paranormal investigator. So what does this all have to do with tea? Tune in live June 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you missed the live show, you can catch the replay on YouTube and on Rumble at Soul Fire Ascension, or listen to Soul Fire Ascension on Spotify. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, gotta end it. Sorry. Oh, there we go again. Lisa is, I think, backstage. But she will... Oh, we're going to add her to the stage. Yay!
Excellent. Thank you.
Hello.
Greetings.
So, welcome to Tea with Jessamy. I have my tea.
And I have mine. Not drinking out of the pot. I'm not that thirsty. I do have a tiny teacup tonight. So...
And Lisa's not feeling too well tonight, so she's
no tea for me.
Skipping the tea.
I am. But I would like to know about all of this tea time.
Right. Well, I mean, it's been, I mean, the last year has been something crazy. It's been a roller coaster. And had a big health scare, and I've been on a huge spiritual journey and a big learning curve in my path, and a big shift in like the paranormal adventures, and there was a lot of traveling and a lot of learning, and then things twisted and it all kind of combined, and thanks to my son, like he inspired the whole thing, and I'm like, all of this boils down to tea. And he was like, wait a minute, how did this happen? And I'm like, we can make something out of this. And I was telling him about, I might not be I can't say a healer because I can't diagnose or treat anybody, but he and I both see tea as a method of a healing path. So, and we're not therapists either, but, we always say that, everything is better with tea. So no matter what ails you, put the kettle on. we'll have tea about it. Tea is our cure-all for everything. So eventually what I'd like to be able to do is have some sort of like a gathering place that serves tea. And I want to be able to include tea of all different types of cultures. So if those who are Buddhists want to share their tea rituals, and if there's other rituals of tea sharing from around the world, and we bring cultures and we bring people together, or if we can teach youth how to serve tea and how to have good conversation, true, proper conversation with each other, and get off of phones and screens, then we could start becoming that inclusive humanity collective again. We could start healing people, and it would all start with a cup of tea. And so it all trails from everything that I've been doing. And it was crazy and chaotic. And like I said, it became a crazy chaotic brew that landed in a teapot. And then now we're here and chit-chatting about it. And I was kind of filling you in a little bit about it, Raven. But like I said, it gets in depth, and but I cannot be more grateful for this last year.
Well, we have missed you this last year, and we're very grateful to have you on the show again. And hopefully you'll be popping in on the show as a co-host from time to time.
I would love that.
With different people that may interest you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love your idea, Jessamy, about the tea time and having a place where there can be a shared experience and heart-to-heart interaction. That's what I'm feeling just by like your vision,
Exactly.
It feels beautiful.
Thank you. And sometimes going through a lot of things. I've been through a whole, like I said, a roller coaster and a whole wheel of experiences and emotions. There was a lot of, I had some issues medically late last summer. Developed a neurological issue, and at first I thought I'd had a stroke, and it affected my left side. So I was healing from that, and then I went through a relationship loss, and that was many, many, many months of grief. And then trying to process all of that while trying to keep up with the demands of some paranormal projects that I had going on. And I was working on filming on some and traveling to different locations for another. But being able to have a collective place to sit down with people where you could process things like that, especially grief in a world that keeps you so busy. I found, and through a lot of my research, they say that tea is one of the better ways to start with a healing practice if you're not familiar, or if you have a lot of issues with meditation, because people like me who are a little bit squirrel-brained, we have a hard time sitting still. But when you hold a teacup, you're more mindful. You and my son is very ADHD as well, so he and I, this is part of our practices. We take a very delicate teacup and we hold it, and you have to be very mindful, because if you don't, one, you're going to spill it, or you're going to break the teacup. So in a way, that in itself has become like a meditation modality. And then being able to have people come together, like I said, away from the screens. But when you hold something in your hands, it gives you something to do. And from one small instance of holding something delicate in your hands, making you mindful, will end up giving you a purpose. And then from, with a purpose, even as small as that, healing out of grief will happen. And it happens a lot faster than you would realize, but it takes something as minimal as that. And so that's where we're going for it.
Do I hear a puppy dog trying to get in?
Yeah, let me grab him. He was knocking at the door.
Aw.
Come on. Hi, buddy. Sorry. I think he just wants to go to bed. He knows that I'm in here, and this is where his bed is, so he's probably going to hunker down.
Well,
That's exactly what he's doing.
there you go. Everybody's got to have their own space.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. What kind of tea are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, it's dandelion root and saffron. It's got rose and licorice, and a couple other things. It's a brand new tea. I literally just opened the package before I jumped on here, and it's for detoxing. So I do try to do a light detox once or twice a week. Usually dandelion's been my favorite go-to lately. It helps with digestion and liver and everything. So I just feel a lot better after drinking it. And I don't do anything hardcore cleanses. I don't do any crazy fasting. Oh, my son's joining us for tea.
Hello, guys.
Yay.
So this is my son, Eric. He was the
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
He is the inspiration behind the tea project. So, but I was saying I don't do anything crazy or hardcore cleanse wise because I don't. One, you don't want to completely disrupt your digestive system, and two, great big things, good things don't happen overnight, especially when it comes to your body. Mm-hmm. Gentle is best. And again, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, so I can't treat or diagnose or recommend anything. But I have found that simple herbal organic teas that help to facilitate any type of gut health are the best way to start, because your gut has everything. That's your immune system.
Like
that's
this
your
kind of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I read up on the package and it said
Mm-hmm.
it helps your immune system.
Uh-huh. And so your histamines live in your gut. Everything is so gut centered. So once you start taking care of that, then everything will fall in line too.
Well, I happen to be drinking dandelion wolfberry tea. And I know as a medicine person in our family,
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother used to use teas. And of course, we are medicine people, but we are not doctors, as you
Right.
said, so we can't diagnose anything.
Right.
But we used a lot of teas, and she used a lot of teas
Mm-hmm.
in healing. And it's been a practice in our family for a long time. What about you, Lisa?
Tea, I personally love tea time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tea is super healing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, Jess, it starts in the gut, and just with ease and grace, right? These are sacred herbs and sacred flowers that are grown from our Mother Earth, that almost all of what our Mother Earth grows is beautiful fashion. Yeah. And it's just a beautiful way to incorporate healing in our day-to-day lives by drinking tea. And of course, it's super convenient to just go buy the tea packs from the store. But if I'm not mistaken, a loose leaf is also quite delicious, and it's kind of fun to make your own loose leaf tea because you're adding your own ingredient and amount to the pot.
Right.
And mine's kind of loose.
Yeah, mine's so loose. It came in like a small packet, but yeah, I love being able to add or subtract different things. Eventually I'll have a better herb garden going. I'd love to have something that my dream one day is to have a full greenhouse of just edible plants, edible flowers, herbs, everything that could be used. But I mean, herbs and teas, tinctures, all of that have been used for medicine for millennia, since the dawn of time. Every culture, every religion around the world has something centered around tea somewhere, be it a ceremony or a ritual, or if it's just, come in and have a cup of tea. And in America, usually it's coffee. We kind of got away from the tea thing. But I mean, look at America. Our whole freedom and revolution started with tea.
Tea party.
Yeah, it started with a tea party.
Yeah, I wish I'd have brought my thing. I have this big teacup with the saucer and everything that I got from Salem the last time I was there, and reading tea leaves. Yep. So that's another part of tea.
Yep, absolutely. And that's something I'm going to end up working on eventually.
I'm going to join you with the chair.
So I don't know how to do it quite yet. I've been working on trying to get the more spiritual, other than the divination part, but like the spiritual and that more, I want to say, the healing type of modality down before I get into the tea leaf reading, because there's so many layers and everything. And just making the tea itself is an art. Hi, buddy.
I brought in a chair to sit with you.
I guess my son is joining. So making the tea in itself is an art, because I mean, you have to have the different temperatures for the different kinds of tea. The different tea can be fermented or it can be smoked. The way it's cut can affect the taste. So like at first when I was starting to study this, I'm like, wow, this is really deep. Oh, this is very deep and multi-layered. But it has been a lot of fun getting into. But I mean, yeah, there's the implications for all of it. Sorry, and I keep digressing. I got sidetracked. Sorry. Where were we?
All the layers of the tea.
Yes, the layers of the tea. But and it goes back, like I said, to the very dawn of time. I don't know when. I haven't ever heard stories of people sitting around, around the fires. There was always that brew to drink, and whether it's your typical Earl Grey or it's something as sacred as like an ayahuasca, like all the way in between. It's medicine for the soul, for the whole of the people, and not just as a person, but as a culture.
Well, the Japanese have a tea ceremony. The English have a tea ceremony, and of course, the English have nice little crumpets and stuff with their tea, but it's all a part of a ritual, just as in Japanese, it's all part of a ritual.
Absolutely. And the Buddhists use it for a very sacred, deep meditation. And I would like to get on that level. I want to learn their techniques of not just the preparation, but the meditation. But I want to learn all the layers of it. So in the future, eventually there will be trips around the world to learn all these different techniques, and I want to learn the stories too, and not just the cultural stories. Tell me, have one of the monks tell me a story of when they were a kid and their mother was making tea or something. That's what I'd like to hear.
Me too.
Eric, what kind of tea do you like?
I like anything from peppermint to spearmint to black tea.
Yeah, he's a big mint tea drinker.
And how about to sweeten it?
What do you use to sweeten it?
I just normally I use stevia, but we're out of stevia, so I use honey.
Oh.
So, and what kind of honey do you like?
Manuka honey.
And why do you like Manuka honey? Can you tell us why?
It's a lot sweeter and healthier than regular honey for.
And then the healing properties with Manuka too. That's another thing. We've been diving into that. There's a medical grade Manuka, and then there's a food grade Manuka. Now we use the food grade Manuka for the tea, And the medical grade Manuka is phenomenal for any type of wounds. Like if we have any type of like cut or burn, we can put Manuka on it, and the next day it's virtually gone.
Mhm.
It is a absolute miracle, and it's found only in New Zealand, and it's a specific type of bee and a specific type of like tree flower or something. And I highly recommend it. I really do. It's very, very good.
It was good for me today because I just had surgery in my mouth today.
Mm-hmm.
I had 5 teeth taken out,
Mm-hmm.
and I had multiple cavities filled, and the Manuka actually helped heal it.
Yep. So he's working on Manuka and are you drinking the mint for your mouth for the inflammation?
No, I'm drinking the dandelion.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did get some dandelion. That's right. So, yeah.
Nice.
So he's on board with the medicinal part of it too.
Wait, where'd the other lady go? Oh, she's back.
Yep.
We're live.
I dropped out right when he was saying how he had to have dental work on 5 teeth today.
Yeah, 5 teeth removed and some cavity work and everything, and but they had to put him under anesthesia because it was pretty extensive. But he had some overcrowding, but he came up right out of anesthesia and was ready to go home, and he's been fine all day. He's eaten, and the tea and the Manuka, he's been allowed to have as much tea as he wants, and it's been a free flowing. The tea kettle has been on most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
So
have you been drinking dandelion tea all day?
That's what I got right here.
Yeah, but have you been drinking it all day?
No, I just decided to grab a cup to join with Mom.
Mm-hmm. And then did you have mint earlier today? I made you mint.
I had mint right after my surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and I made a little bit more a while back.
Yeah, we have a whole like tea selection on our counter, and we like to we'll mix and match and experiment, and I'll do all sorts of stuff. And so, but we always have right before bed every night. We have a cup of tea. Usually it's like a sleepy type of tea, so something with calming. The one that I really like has rose and butterfly flower, and it comes out as a really pretty blue color. And there's a lot of chamomile and things like that in it. And then we have blue lotus tincture, and we put a dropper or 2 of that in our cups with the tea, and we're out. Like I will sleep a full night, and that is very rare for me. So I can send you ladies pictures of the label. I usually get it from ecstaticearth.com. Blue lotus tincture. It is phenomenal. And I get the glycerin base. I don't like the alcohol tinctures because I don't want him to have the alcohol based tinctures. So I get the glycerin, and he sleeps very well. I sleep well. So if you have any troubles with sleeping or insomnia, it does help.
But I have an herb garden, and I was researching tinctures.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did say that the alcohol was not really the best thing for the tincture.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not a minor or,
Right.
the alcohol, I don't know, it changes the energy level of it.
It does. And then so many people are on medications. I'm on a few medications that cannot be mixed with alcohol. And so like it can be tricky with that. Some people can tolerate it, some people cannot. So I would rather not take the chance, like with my own medications, and I would just rather have a glycerin tincture.
Yeah.
I would feel that it's safer. And like you said, with the energy too, alcohol does change energy, and sometimes alcohol can be good for preservation of some things, but energetically, alcohol and I spiritually have kind of been at war, and not because like I am not an alcoholic or anything, but I have had alcoholics in my life, and so the spiritual energy has always just been something that I really have to push away. So I would just rather not have that involved in my healing process or my tea or anything. So don't, yep. So it's okay.
Random thing.
What?
Do you want to make the screens a bit bigger so you don't see the top of the green on the top?
Nope, it's okay.
I don't really like having the tabs and stuff open.
All right. So this first podcast.
Well, we're glad we're his first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Oh. So now let me ask you this, Jess, because you're diving into this avenue. What about the paranormal? Are you still practicing with that as well?
I've slowed down quite a bit on that. There was a lot that happened with the paranormal, and I've been involved with that community for over 20 years. I've been doing my own thing for a long time, and some things happened from last fall to the spring that really broke my heart. Had a lot of falling out with some groups and some people, and I've had to send them on with the best and the love and the light. It's like, I love you, but you're on that path and I'm on this path now. And so I've decided to just kind of do my own thing. Eric and I like to go to various places and check things out here and there as a mom-son thing. But as far as like being on teams now,
She has slowed down. I have not. I am a huge ghost hunter.
Yeah, he's still a ghost hunter, and then we do want to hunt cryptids now. It gives us a chance to go play in the woods. So
What are you hunting?
Cryptids. So like Bigfoot and Mothman.
The Flatwoods Monster.
Yep. So
Oh, that's cool.
Especially the Beast of Busco. I want to get him first.
Yep, the Beast of Busco. He's the giant turtle in Cherubusco.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets him out exploring woods and things like that. So a lot of nature time with that. So
Nice.
Well, that's good.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, and I'm still a psychic medium as always, and that's something that will never go away. And I do plan on helping people with that continuously. Anytime that anybody would ever need anything, I'm always open to talk and help people out with that. And I love that. That is my passion. The tea and the tarot and the mediumship, and that is a part of why I also want to get into doing that whole community thing, because it's a passion, and it's not. I'm not doing the healing. I'm just the vessel for whoever needs to come through, whether source, creator, for that healing and for the reassurance or the comfort. That's what I'm starting to align with a lot more. And then when I do want to get out in the field every so often, when I do get that paranormal bug, kind of under my skin again, I like doing more of the science side of things now. So I've been researching a lot of quantum ontology. So it's bridging the quantum physics and then the metaphysics and the paranormal stuff, bridging all that together. So that's been kind of like another road, another avenue that I've been pursuing and learning on and everything. But sorry. The traveling has been intense. I've been going to Virginia and West Virginia, and Ohio every other weekend for the last several months, close to it. So we're pretty tired. But in a good way. There has been so much learning and soul searching and growth. The growth has been phenomenal. And it always ends every night with a cup of tea.
Sorry for bumping the computer.
It's okay.
I was getting more tea.
Ah. Well, that's awesome. And I hear you've been astral traveling too.
Yes. I was hoping you would ask. So that was wild. I went down to Felicity, Ohio at the Broadwell Funeral Home. So if anybody ever gets a chance to go there to do a paranormal investigation, it is very intense. And I had a 5-day, 5-night, all-inclusive stay at the funeral home. We didn't leave. We slept there, ate there, everything. And so the reason that we were there, we were doing some work with the IDC Institute, and it was like a quantum autonomy or ontology project. So it was all about doing astral travels, and then but keeping it scientific. So it was very controlled, had very specific experiments set up, and then the meditations were used with a very specific, very curated type of hemisync technology. And oh my goodness, like you never knew where the meditations were going to take you. But basically you would start and it would tell you to open the door, and you created your own like portal, and then wherever you went, and then you would come out of the meditations and you would write everything down, and you couldn't talk to anybody on the team until you got in front of the film crew. And then you would tell Mr. Prather and the film crew everything that you saw, everything that you wrote down. And then once everybody on the team was able to be individually interviewed, then we could all have a roundtable discussion. And a lot of times our things did sync up with each other. And a friend of mine, Amy, she's one of the ladies I always ran around with in the paranormal. She and I would constantly miss each other. Like we were just crisscrossing paths or just missing each other in like the those multi-dimension slots. You know how everything is the parallel realities are gridded like that grid work. We were always like one slot over from each other. But it was really neat. And the one time I was on the cot, and we had the noise canceling headphones, and we had blindfolds. We're laying on cots. So you're complete sensory deprivation except for what's in your the meditation. And I wasn't even focusing on anything. I was just kind of chilling out, and then all of a sudden I'm in your Reiki room. I'm in your bowl, and I'm looking, and I'm like, that's Raven, and you're working at your desk. And it was wild because like you were sitting there, but you were doing like 3 different things, and somehow you had on 3 different outfits at the same time. It was like I was watching the outfits change on you. And then so I don't know whether I was watching you on a few different days altogether, because in those other universes, time does not exist.
Right.
So, but it was neat. So it was like kind of like the holographic art, when you shift it or you turn it a little bit, it'll change. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like what it was. It was like every time you'd move, your outfit would change, or the way you had your hair would change, or just what you were doing, like the way you were reaching up with doing something or working on your computer. It was constantly changing, but it was in the same place. And you had looked up at me at one point, so I wasn't sure if you had saw me or if I made a noise or something. But I did want to ask you about it. But I was excited that one of the places that my mind took me to specifically could have been anywhere in the world, but it was to the doorway of your Reiki room.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm not sure exactly when you did that. So I want to say that you have been on my mind a lot, and that could be the reason that you had been on my mind a lot. And I can't pinpoint, which day it was or anything like that because,
Right.
I didn't know. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you've been on my mind, and that could have been a whole part of it. You could have made a noise or something.
Mm-hmm.
And subconsciously, I could have seen you. And you came into my mind because the subconscious sees all,
Right,
hears all, and so
absolutely,
yeah.
and your Reiki room has always been, anytime I've been to your home, it is so calming and heartwarming, and like I feel like I can breathe instantly as soon as I walk in. And I remember the first day that I saw your home, I was like, oh, look at all the grid work. And you were like, you can see my grid work? And I was like, yeah. And so I think it's just something, and maybe, and I could definitely see why. I'm sure that maybe my higher self just knows that that's a very safe place to be.
Safe
like, put my squirrely, I don't want to say lower self, but my more human self, be like, here, stay here. I'm going to go do something real quick. And that way, my higher self can keep me safe for a minute before I run off.
Is it okay if I drink the tea with the lotus tincture in it? I'm just making sure.
Yep. So he puts some lotus
I'm
tincture
glad
in.
you feel safe, and nobody else has been able to see the grid work that I put up, and I do a lot of warding and stuff because some of the work that I do, it deals with entities and we always have to protect,
Absolutely. And and we're starting to kind of gear up into that too. There's been some things, some developments happen, and not necessarily a bad thing, but we figured out that he's had to start some training a little bit early, and that's okay.
What do you mean?
Because you're sensitive, and you become a little bit more sensitive. So in your healing journey,
and I'm partially awake to all this stuff.
You're awakening pretty quickly. So
it's good to have that male energy too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, But again, that's.
I think that Eric has always had that sensitivity. I mean, even when I used to see him in his stroller, you could tell it's there.
Yeah. He's got a very bright inner light. That, I mean, as a baby and a toddler, it was very different. I never could quite put my finger on it when he was little. So watching him grow and to see, because I don't really want to influence a lot of what he could develop. I don't want to be, I don't want to like put things into his head. I want him to develop naturally. And then when he has questions, it's like, okay, so you're not crazy. This is what this could be, and this is what you can do with it to help control it.
Well, it's kind of how I was with my grandmother.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful because it was a blessing to me because she taught me the family medicine.
Yeah.
But she didn't give me all the answers. I had to go seeking the answers myself and and did get the knowledge. She gave me some knowledge, and most of the time I had to seek them. And you had mentioned earlier about the energy that runs through you. I was always taught that we are a hollow bone for the energy of source, spirit, whoever. And that energy runs through us, and that's the energy that heals. My grandmother taught me that when you think that it's you, then spirit will take it away because it is not you. It is the energy that runs through you. So it's great that Eric is being taught And the way that you're teaching him is so wonderful, and he can grow up a little bit more advanced,
Thank you.
I think. I'm not saying I was advanced. I'm just saying that, I learned from my grandmother, and I learned at a very young age, and it helped me a whole lot.
Right.
Especially when I started with the medicine men. All of my teaching then, I had a good basic background of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's fortunate that Eric will have that basic background of it, and he can, and being allowed to go in his own direction that he chooses.
Absolutely. And I mean, I didn't have that when I was younger. I was literally told that I was crazy. And so that's I grew up thinking that I was crazy until I was about 15. And then I had somebody that in Huntertown where I grew up, and she was like, no, this is what you're going through, and this, because like I would stand outside my body, and then I would be like, why can I see myself? Why am I standing behind myself? She's like, oh, that's astral projection. You're okay. You're not crazy. And I'm like, well, if you know about that, then can you tell me about this? And she's like, oh yeah, this is that and that. And I'm like, I need more insight. And so that's what began the whole journey all those years ago. And like I've never forced him to like choose any sort of pantheon or any sort of spirituality. I let him, he's exploring his own thing. Science right now is his thing. And which I think kids need. It's a lot of people, especially these days, everybody wants so much control over every little detail. And sometimes the best support that you can give to a child, especially spiritually, is to let them have that freedom. Still keep watch and guidance, because there's a lot of things out there that aren't very good. But if you can have your spirit team and your angels over them as they adventure, then that's good. But I mean, I definitely utilize that spirit team, the angels and the guides, the ancestors. They are, I think they work a little bit of overtime with me, but they are so appreciated. And the past few days have been good, and things have been going very well. And he woke up and bounced back faster than any of us thought, even the ladies in the hospital today, because he had to be under anesthesia for all of it. They were like, he woke right up and he was good to go. And I was like
this.
Yep.
Ready. Well, I feel weird.
Yep. Ready to go. So yeah, very, very blessed to have a spirit team that is very proactive and keeping up with him and me. But yeah, so we are spiritual squirrels. All over the place.
I like that.
It fits. It's cute.
Oh, thank you.
It is.
But
got a name for your tea place?
Well, I haven't. We haven't really thought about it. My big thing, like anytime I think about it, I think of gentility, like gentility, but with TEA on the end of it. Because I truly believe that to change the world, even one person at a time, one cup at a time, you have to have kindness.
Better name for it. Why don't we call it tea rote? Because we're tea and tarot.
T-row.
You might have a point. Okay, so he might have just changed things, but kindness and gentility has always been my thing. Like that's the core foundation of what will help to change everything. But I like the tea rote. We can have tea rote night. So yeah. See, and he comes up with a lot of the ideas for things like that.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Absolutely. You're very blessed, Jess, to have a thinking a thinking sidekick for you,
Thank
to
you.
plunk in all those beautiful ideas for you. I love
Thank
it.
you very much. Yeah, my little psychic sidekick. So
Yeah.
he calls himself a psychic small since I'm a psychic medium.
That's so cute. I love it.
Yep.
So he's a lot of fun, and he was my sidekick when we worked at the Bell Mansion a couple of years ago, and we're going to go back to the Bell Mansion in August for one last visit. They sold the Bell Mansion, and it's going to exchange hands at the end of the year. So if you get a chance to go to the Bell Mansion, get it while you can, because it is beautiful. The house is beautiful, and
it is. It's gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
And will the new owners understand how haunted it is?
They know, but they're not going to do anything with the paranormal. The Sweetwater Sound bought it, and I believe that they're going to utilize the mansion as a place for music lessons for everyone, which I cannot think of a better place to do it. And they have agreed to keep all of the the structures, the inner structures, the walls, the rooms, everything will stay in place because it is on the House of Historical Registry or Historical Register of Houses, however you say it. But they're going to keep the integrity of everything, and the spirits, although they won't be investigated, they will be respected. But what better to have in a home like that than to fill it with children and music? And music like that. That is love, right there.
Those in the audience who don't know about the Bell Mansion, why don't you explain the Bell Mansion to our audience?
Okay.
I've been there, I know, and seen the paranormal activity myself. But
oh yeah. So the Bell Mansion is in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I'm from and where Raven's from. And it's a beautiful mansion that was built in 1893. And it was a home up until 1926. And then it was sold to the Klein family, and it was a funeral home from 1926 to 2018. So there was it was a funeral home longer than it was ever a family home. But I worked there for the summer of 2023. I started going there, I think, in 2020 or 2021, I believe, just to visit and work there in 2023. And I fell in love with it. But more than the building, I fell in love with the spirits. The spirits there became friends and family. And when you're there all the time, they make themselves known. They become like people. And sometimes I would have the spirit boxes going because they could use that to communicate easier. And sometimes they were just right there and they didn't need any help to communicate. And sometimes even though like I can see them, it's almost like they prefer to use something to speak through. I've always just been okay with giving them options, letting them do their thing. But I've had spirits there that were practical jokers. I had the one, she was the housekeeper, the head housekeeper. I wasn't cleaning to her specifications, and she knocked over a bottle of Murphy's oil soap that I had open on the floor. And so because of that, I had to mop the entire floor. And it was enough soap to do the whole third floor. So she made it very, very clear that because she, over the spirit box that I had rolling, she kept saying spot, missed, there, over there, spot. And I'm like, I'll get it. I promise I'll get it. And it wasn't fast enough. She knocked the whole thing over. So the entire third floor was mopped and all of the wood furniture was polished.
Mhm.
So that was one of my, it was one of those things where I had to roll my eyes, but at the same time, it was really funny. But it's, like I said, at the end of the year, it's going to change hands with the new owners. So I'm hoping that everybody can at least, if you're around the Fort Wayne area, if you can get to the Fort Wayne area, if you can get in there, even if it's for an hour, just to feel the atmosphere. It is beautiful. It is fun. When there's parties, the spirits play along too. They love to have fun. There are spirit children there, with it being a funeral home. Eric is very good at getting the spirit kids riled up and playing. I mean, we've always just had a wonderful time there. And I mean, that's probably going to have my heart, a big chunk of my heart forever. But I am really, really happy with it.
Beautiful place. I mean, all of the woodwork is just amazing in that place. And it's like walking into a different time.
Yeah. Yep. It's like walking into a time capsule.
Yeah.
The floors in the house are original. 1893 wood floors. Very, very intricate inlay. Mr. Bell, when he built the house, it was very particular, and everything had to be hand carved, and it was very intricate. The doors into a lot of the rooms were the sliding pocket doors, and they always had some sort of ornate carving on the door to tell you what it was. Like the dining room had, the dining room had his and his wife's cameos in those, and then like the library had a carving of a book on that door, and his office had a paper and ink quill on it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Anybody who is in the area, do check out the Bell Mansion before it changes hands.
Wow.
I know I was there. I think we've gone a couple of times. We were there the first time for Mike Ricksecker when he had his new book out. And he did some stuff at the Bell Mansion. And then I think we just went a couple of times. But yeah, and they you know, Angie would let you explore as you wished all over the mansion, you know. We even went down into the basement and everything where the hearses and stuff used to be. But I remember we were sitting in this really pretty lounge type chair. It was blue in this room, and you could look outside and the door was open, you know, and you could look outside and go out on the balcony, and it was a really pretty day. And my husband Tim and I, we were sitting on that chaise lounge chair, you know, and all of a sudden I think I looked outside because I was going to go outside, and the door just closed. There was no breeze or anything. Not only did the door close, it locked. So I did not need to go outside.
Mrs. Bell said no.
I could not open the door. I was like, well, okay, fine. I will not go outside. I will stay in here.
Wow. Yeah. And that's Mrs. Bell's bedroom.
Okay.
Yep. That was her bedroom specifically. And Mr. Bell had the bedroom, the next one down the hallway. And her closet that was in there was the biggest closet in any house in Fort Wayne at the time. It was state of the art. It was like she was sought after, like that style and everything. After that house was built, all the wives were like, I want a closet like hers. So she kind of set the standard for the Fort Wayne mansions when it comes to the ladies' closets.
Yeah.
So wait, can we go to the basement when you go in August?
Yep.
I've never been down there.
When are you going in August? Maybe I'll
Um,
join you guys.
It's August 30th. So the Wraith Chasers, Mike and Chris with the Wraith Chasers, they're a couple of guys that I've been palling around with in the paranormal industry the past several months. They're going to be in Fort Wayne, and they're originally out of Tennessee. So it's kind of nice to be able to have them come to my hometown.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, but
Well, awesome. So it's really, really great to have you on the show. And it was really nice to have the surprise of Eric come on the show.
thank you.
So I'd like to know, what message would you like to leave the audience with?
Well, honestly, when it comes down to it, take time to enjoy the fun part of life and everything that you do, even if it's like your job or a hobby job. Make sure you see that fun part of everything, so that you're enjoying every moment. And then, if you can, find a way to sit down with a cup of tea a day, at least one. I recommend one at bedtime, and there's a type of tea for everyone. So, I don't want people thinking that tea is going to amp them up at night. There's a lot of sleeping, calming teas. But I really encourage everybody to have a cup of something in a more delicate kind of cup that creates a meditative mindfulness, just by simply, the most very basic act. One of the first things we ever did when we were born, we breathed and we swallowed. So drink your tea and breathe, and you'll begin your healing journey easier than you realize.
Definitely.
Awesome. And we look forward to having you back on the show, popping in every once in a while.
I would love that. Thank you very much.
Can I say something too, like Mom just did? Definitely, I want everyone in the audience to please go to the Bow Mansion. It is an awesome place. The spirits are really nice, and my personal favorite, go to the upstairs ballroom. There's a boy up there named David, and he's really nice.
He's really fun to play with. Yep.
Cool. We will. Awesome. Well, our next show is Titania, isn't it?
Yes. Because it's June already. Oh my goodness.
Right?
Well, we're halfway through June already.
I know.
It's going by too fast for me personally.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I
have a hard time thinking about, I don't even know where the last 3 months went. It was Valentine's Day, and then all of a sudden it's June, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
I hear you.
I personally think it was a time loop that when we just went forward in time.
It's possible.
It's very possible.
There's been a lot of time slips and time loop things lately that we've both noticed. But that could be another show.
Well, yeah, because the earth energies are changing. We just went through a big energy shift, time shift.
Yeah, the Schumann resonance. I've been watching those.
But that's another show.
That's another show. That's a long one in itself.
So thank you so much for everybody, our audience. We think you're awesome. We love you. We have one more comment. Let me go look. David wanted to let us know that his wife has been back to work with light duties for a couple of months.
Okay.
And I hope you have a great weekend ahead. David's wife had cancer. So she is really progressing very well. Thank you so much, David, for letting us know her progress. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And we're so happy about her healing and getting better.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yep. And we'll be definitely sending love and light and lot of prayers and stuff her way too, and his way. And it's prayers for him as well. I mean, we all know that being that a spouse of somebody who's sick is, you need that support too.
Yep. All righty. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys in a fortnight. Thank you to our audience. We love you. And thank you. We hope you have enjoyed watching Soul Fire Ascension with Raven and Lisa Lovelight. You can also watch Soul Fire Ascension on YouTube and Rumble at Soul Fire Ascension, or listen to us on Spotify. Please like, share, and subscribe. Soul Fire Ascension is sponsored by RavensHealingarts.com.